Awesome. Well, officially welcome to New Coach Orientation. We are so excited to have you on. A lot of us here are coming from different walks of life. Maybe we've been coaching for different amounts of time. So I wanted to open up and welcome everyone, but also I want to see how long everyone's been coaching. So if you can throw in the chat how long you've been coaching. We'd love to see that. Some of you are brand new. Maybe you're only a couple of days with us, a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Some of you have been with us for a couple of years. But wherever you're at in your coaching journey, I want to officially welcome you into our Optavia family. And into our family. We're excited to have you. We're excited for you and for all that's going to happen, in your coaching journey. So before we get started, I wanted to introduce myself. For those who don't know me, my name is Michelle Bomba. I am what Optavia calls an integrated presidential director. I have been coaching now for about 5.5 years, and Optavia has been the biggest blessing in my life. What started off as weight loss. How many of us, I guess, blink at me if you came into maybe for just the weight loss and you realized that it was so much more. Well, that's what I came into. I just wanted to lose some weight. I was struggling with my health after having my firstborn, and I knew that this could be something. Actually, I didn't know quite then, but I thought, what, if this works, I've tried everything else. This is my last straw to see if weight loss, if I could just get healthy with something. And sure enough, I went on to lose 22 pounds in 5 weeks. Results not typical, but definitely possible. And I started coaching right away. I started coaching within my first week. I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew is that I was down 6 pounds. I had just so much energy. I felt amazing, and I felt like I was getting my life back. And I knew that other people needed to experience this. And so I started coaching, and since then, Optavia has completely blessed my life beyond measures. I came into it to help a few people, but also, I came into it for extra purpose and fulfillment. I came into it for accountability, but I also came into it for the extra finances. I really started to see, through other coaches' stories, that Optavia could financially be a blessing in my life. And sure enough, it has been. And since coaching started, my husband and I were able to find our dream home, and we moved from California to Texas. We had that freedom too, and so we are so happy here. We've had another son since then, and so we've just found a life of just complete freedom in our healthy body, in our healthy mind, and in healthy finances. And so we want to welcome you in. And you see, I'm not alone. I've got my incredible co-host here with me, so I want her to introduce herself. So Rachel.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I love it. Sherry Wright, you're just 2 practice calls in. That just stood out to me. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I love seeing so many new coaches on. Yes, my name is Rachel Richards. I've been coaching almost 5 years. It'll be in May. I came in from, I had a wellness practice at the time that I was introduced to this program. And so I really didn't understand this program and how it would fit. And so I did the thing that we all do, which is I went on program, right? I needed to experience it. I needed to feel it. And I had autoimmune. And so some of my greatest wins on program had nothing to do with the scale, but I absolutely lost 9 pounds of body fat in like 21 days. And I wasn't sad about that. I stopped outrunning my fork. I stopped trying to spin myself to death. I'm a spin instructor, and I thought that was the way that I had to go. And program really opened my eyes to what was possible and what gaps I had, even coming from wellness and nutrition, which was really eye-opening for me. I came into the program closed, fixed, opinionated, with a huge ego. And wow, I really had my eyes opened. I saw what was possible. I started putting clients on program, and they started healing one after the next, after the next. I had never seen a protocol that worked for all of the people all of the time. Never. And so it stopped me in my tracks. I ran to convention. I was a brand new baby coach. I didn't know anything other than all the things that I thought I knew. And Optavia just opened my eyes. And I'll never forget my first convention when Dr. A said, all of you without capital letters behind your names can help heal this nation more than I could with all the capital letters behind my name. Every single coach can advance the mission. And I really fell in love with that. I came home, I got to work, and I started working on my ego. And I started asking my mentors to help me, and they did. They helped me beyond my wildest imagination. And when I started trusting the process and opening up my heart to what they had to offer and really seeing this gift as a powerful vehicle, it has changed my whole life. Definitely, my marriage is better, my mind is better, my health is better, my friendships are better. But now we have this deep sense of purpose and fulfillment, and we are experiencing a financial freedom that is just a blessing. And so I'm so glad I got out of my own way. If you're resonating with anything I'm saying tonight, we want to share with you in structure what happens. This vehicle can absolutely take you beyond your wildest dreams. But it all starts with structure and foundation. So I'm excited to embark on that with you guys tonight and just really go over how to trust the process.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Rich, for coming on and sharing. So let's go ahead, you guys. Let's get started. We really wanted to put this together because, as a family through Optavia, we want to give everyone, just as a client, and giving them all the right kind of experience, right? The experience that we all have equally. We wanted to do the same for all of you as brand new coaches coming into this organization, because you all came on with the same coaching kit, right? We all spent $199 for the same coaching kit. And so we want to give you all of the tools that you need to help you when it comes to building the dreams or the goal or the business of your desire, right? And building the dreams of your desire. Some of us are here because maybe we just want to help, a few people in our life that are asking. Some of you have just big goals and dreams, and you knew and you heard what's possible with this coaching opportunity. And so you want to go all in, but wherever you are, we want to help give you the same tools that we've all been given to really help you through your coaching journey. So we're going to go through a little bit of everything, but a lot of the basics, to help your first 5 clients, because that's what we want to do is we want to help you see your first win, which is achieving senior coach. And then from there, you're going to work really closely with your support team to help you reach all of the milestones to get to the goals that you want to get through. And so that's what I really wanted to start off with, is I really wanted to start off with the importance of really goal setting throughout your coaching journey, because many of you have come into this, like I mentioned, for different reasons. But what you're going to see is that your goals and your dreams are going to evolve over time. Just like your story is going to evolve over time. I'll tell you, my story first started, with weight loss, right? That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to achieve. And now here I am 5 years later, and weight loss has become about this much of my story with everything else that Optavia has blessed us with. And so I want to encourage you to really set some goals starting off with. They may start off small. Maybe you want to just help pay for your food. Maybe you want to cover a car payment, or maybe your kids' tuition for school, whatever it is. But we want you to hear something that we teach very well in Optavia, and that is setting some SMART goals, okay? And what that stands for is setting some specific, measurable, achievable, relevant goals with time behind that. Okay, so what you're going to see is, yes, maybe you want to start off with, paying for your food monthly. And you're going to see that you're going to do that actually pretty quickly, within your first 5 clients. And so once we achieve that goal, we don't want to stop. Okay, because we really want to have some structural tension when it comes to our goals. Like you hear this in your life book, which is structural tension, and that goes for all areas of our life. It's not just for our health, but you can even apply that to your coaching journey, because what we want to do is we want to always see what are our goals that we want to set out for this. Okay, and then where are we at our current reality? And then what you're going to see is in the middle is everything that you need to move yourself towards that goal. And there's always going to be a little bit of tension. But what happens is as we start to get close to that goal, or we start to achieve those goals, the tension is not really there anymore. And so that's when time where we start to get comfortable, we stop maybe doing a little bit of work, because now we don't have a new goal to achieve. And so I want to encourage you, throughout your journey is set those goals. You are going to get together with your support team every month, once you achieve senior coach, and you're going to go through what we call a MAP. And that's going to be your monthly action plan, where it's going to help you really set the goals for that month so that you know what you're working for. Every month is going to be different. You're going to have different goals, but I'm going to encourage you, even today, or even tomorrow, I encourage you to sit down and really think about what you want to achieve with coaching. Like I said, it may start off small. You may just want to help pay for your food, maybe a car payment, maybe it's not even financially, maybe you just want to help a few people, but whatever the goal is, I want you to really set that so that we know what we're working working for, and that we have the motivation to get up every day, right? We have the motivation to continue to do, to continue to do the work to get to those goals. So I'm going to encourage you guys, do that monthly, because I promise you it's going to definitely be worth it in the end when you have those goals that you're totally, moving forward. So it's going to be different, right? Every month it's going to be different, but continuously always having that. Because again, we're always going to want to keep moving forward in our journey. So setting goals, that's going to be important, okay? Another thing is I want you to always remember this. We are always a client first, okay? I know now you started coaching, but just because you started coaching doesn't mean that you should stop with your client check-ins with your coach, because remember, you're still a client and you're always going to be a client. And so it's also really important, now that you're a coach, something that we want to do is we want to move up our personal volume to the beginning of the month, okay? And I'll tell you why. This is going to help out Optavia, okay? Because we know that towards the end of the month, lots of orders are going to be going in. And so we want to really help when it comes to shipping delays. We want to help with Optavia, but also I'm going to tell you that this, we're always going to place our personal volume because that's what we do. That's just the integrity of our business. It's part of our business model. Now, it's not something that is required, but I will tell you this, success leaves clues. I have been placing my personal volume now for 5.5 years on the first of every single month. And that is something that it is a way of me thanking my coach for introducing me into this incredible life that Optavia has given me. And so I'm going to encourage you, we're always still a client. You're always going to have your client check-in. Just because you've now become a coach doesn't mean we stop our health journey. We always want to keep leading with our health, because you guys, that's what we're doing, right? I'll tell you, that's the accountability that coaching helps us with, is we continue to lead in our health. And so we want to encourage you to always place that personal volume within that first couple of days of the month. Again, it's the part of our business model. It's part of the integrity of this business. We don't want to place orders now under our dog's name or under our, spouse's name. Now, some of you, I'll tell you that some of you maybe are coaching by yourself, okay? Now, some of you have started coaching, your spouse is still not involved, and so you have maybe your spouse as your first client, and that's okay, right? Your spouse's order can absolutely go under you, but I'm going to tell you this, because this is what we see a lot. I've seen this a lot in the last 5 years, is that spouses come into the business eventually, right? They start to see what the changes in you. They start getting excited for what they're starting to see. They're inspired by you. They're motivated. And now they may start to want to coach alongside you. And so when that happens, that is the time that we're actually now going to move our spouse's order again up to kind of with ours. You can have the same account, and place your order together under yourself, because now your support team is mentoring you, they're mentoring your spouse, and it really is that way to say thank you for what you're giving me and all the support that you're helping me with, okay? Okay, next, you guys, is our story, okay? I'm going to tell you all this, okay? Your story is your message. People come into Optavia not because of the name Optavia. Well, maybe that was kind of a perk because maybe they're their friends or, their cousin's best friend, or they heard it from their neighbor and they thought, hey, I got to try this Optavia. They don't come to it for Dr. A. They don't even know who that is. They're coming because of you. And so your story is powerful. I don't care if you're only down 3 pounds. Your 3 pounds is going to bring someone hope in their life. And so your story is going to be the piece that is going to be so powerful for all to hear. And your story, let me tell you, is your story again is going to evolve, okay? Time over time, your story today is going to be a completely different story in 3 months from now, in 6 months from now, in a year from now. Your story is always going to be evolving, but I'll tell you, your story is your message. So that is what we're going to be sharing out loud every single day, is we want to share our story, because that is what's offering hope to people, that they too can have what you have. So share your story unapologetically, share your story out loud, because I will tell you, your story is going to break chains for others to come. And so know that that is going to be a powerful piece in your coaching journey, is again, you're sharing your story. You're going to be sharing a short story. We call it the elevator story, right? Or something that's 90 seconds, but also when you talk to people, you're going to share just the depths of your story and why you're here and what this has done for you. And so I want to encourage you guys, is there is no little story, okay? Everyone's story is powerful no matter where you are, and it's always going to evolve, because I'm going to tell you this, your story is going to always start off with weight. And then you're going to see that as you continue your coaching journey, weight is going to be about this much of your story, because everything else that Optavia has offered you is going to be what you're going to be so passionately sharing with other people. Okay. And so moving on, is we're going to talk about business hours. Okay. Setting structure. Now you are all, I mean, however long you've been in this business, again, some of you a few days with us, some of you a few weeks, some of you a few months, a few years, no matter where you are in your business, setting those business hours and structure is going to be so important for your business. We want to set up business hours because remember, we want this to be fun. Coaching is supposed to be something that is just so exciting. You're sharing this journey out loud. You're sharing this gift with so many people, and we want it to just feel like you're having a great time. But if we start to get out of structure or we don't have a structure in place, we really want to prevent feeling the overwhelmed, feeling burnt out, right? And so we want to encourage you that we want to set up some business hours. What's really great is as you're working towards your first 5 clients, you guys, can I tell you, you can fit this into the nooks and crannies of your life. When I first started coaching, my husband and I were both working full-time jobs. I was working 40 plus hours a week. He was working 60 hours plus a week. And we fit this into the nooks and crannies of our life. You know, it didn't need a lot of time in the beginning. You know, maybe 5 to 7 hours a week, if that. But as your business grows, you're going to see maybe a little bit more hours are going to be going in. But if your structure is set, you're going to find yourself not feeling overwhelmed, not feeling burnt out, feeling like that you can handle this. And remember, this is your business. This is your hours that you're setting up. It's okay to say no. Okay. I'm going to encourage you that because, you know, I used to be the yes man. Now, how many of you were like that too? I would say yes to everything. Every call, someone would, hey, can I do this at this time? Yes, 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 yes. And I learned that I couldn't do that. It wasn't fair to myself. It wasn't fair to the people I was serving. It wasn't fair to my family. And ultimately, I was doing this for my family. And so I needed to put my life in a structure. I needed to set up some business hours because I will tell you, it is the key in this business. It's going to help you organize work towards your goal, and it's going to give you more clarity moving forward. So I actually wanted to share a slide with you guys of different rocks in your calendar of what, let's see if I can find it, different rocks in your calendar that's going to be just easy to start off with. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you. But here are some pockets of time that's really going to be really easy for you. Oh, okay, 8 hours, 10 hours. We're looking more right now at about 5 to 7 hours. Okay, but what we're going to look at is 15 to 30 minutes daily of connection time. This is going to be built for social media, which we will get into later on. But this is going to be built just to connect with people, being intentional with people. You know, so 15 to 30 minutes, I will tell you, you can spread that out. It does not need to be at one time, right? You can start off the morning maybe with 15 minutes, maybe in the later in the afternoon. But again, your mentor is going to help really structure this for you, and they're going to walk alongside with you with this. We want to have days for follow-up, right? We want to have different times that we follow up with people. Follow-up is so crucial in this business when it comes to bringing on clients. So I'm going to tell you this. It's never a no, okay? You're going to talk to a lot of people. You know, I'll tell you, I'm only successful in this business because I've heard a lot more no's than you have. I've also heard a lot more yeses than you have too. But I've heard a lot of no's. And if I let that get into my head, if I let that chatter like, man, no one wants to do this, I wouldn't be here where I am today. Because I will tell you, it's going to take following up a couple of times until someone is ready for this journey, because you know they want to see that this is real. There's so many things out there right now, and so what we're going to show you is we're going to show you to really just live your life out loud, to live your journey out loud, because that's what's going to encourage people. It's going to motivate people. It's going to inspire people to say yes. Okay, so we're going to have those days, and we're going to teach you all about follow-up and how to just continue to build a relationship. This is what this business is about. We are in the people business. We are in the building relationships business. We're not here to sell anyone. We're not here to convince anyone. We're here to love on people, offer that hope, and just wait till they're ready for this journey in their life, okay? We also want to have time that we're going to check in, right? We're going to check in with our brand new clients. We're going to check in with our seasoned clients. We're always going to check in weekly with our clients, okay? And you guys, this is maybe a 5 to 10 minute phone call with our clients. It does not take a lot of time. Just like the check-ins that you had with your coach, you know, so you've already seen, they've already modeled what coaching looks like and coaching client looks like through coaching you. And so you want to have that time as well. We're going to have pockets of time built in for health assessment and coach explorers, because we're obviously going to be sharing our journey out loud. You're going to have times that people are going to reach out and say, okay, what's this program? And we want to take it to a health assessment. Now, I'm going to tell you this too. So we all know what happens. People are going to have the same progress as you. They're going to have the same success as you, and they're going to have the same heart as you to help pay that forward. You're going to have a lot of people, because we know that weight loss is something that we all can't hide. So they are going to have people that are asking what they're doing, just like people have asked you what you're doing. And so when that happens, we're going to offer them everything that Optavia offers us, right? And they offer health coaching just like your coaches offered it to you. Now, they may say no the first couple times. How many of us probably said no? I mean, I said no for 9 months, prior to even coming to Optavia, when my coach was just approaching me with a coaching opportunity. And so they're probably going to say no maybe 1 or 2 times, but never stop offering that gift. Okay, we're going to have pockets of time built in for tip and integration calls. Those are so crucial to a client's success on plan, whether it's at a week or at 2 weeks. We want to make sure that we are setting those up. Team training, you guys, I'm going to tell you this, okay? All of the training that you will ever need in this business is given to you. Okay, there is already a structure in place. There is already a path to success. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. If you follow along your support team and your mentor's guidance, they're going to lead you to success. Again, you do not have to reinvent the wheel. And I will tell you why, because I tried to and it did not work out for me. Okay, so live from my mistakes. Because I did that, and now I vowed to never have anyone else do that, because I know it's just going to take more time to get to those goals. But if you just follow your guide, follow the lead of your mentor team, I tell you, the most successful coach just plays the best game of follow the leader. That is what we do. And so, really be there for all the trainings. Now, sometimes I get it. Life happens. I understand where we are. Maybe we've got small kids. Maybe we've got our jobs. But I'll tell you, even if you can't make it to these calls live, the recordings, right, on your way to work, during your quiet time, set up some quiet time if you don't have it. But your trainings are there to help you be successful. And so the trainings that you want to be 100% on are the Optavia trainings that are Monday night. Remember, you're still a client. So you still want to be on these client calls, because nothing is worse than getting on a call with your client and they talk to you about the client call and you have no idea what happened because you weren't on it, right? And so really it's a great way to connect with your clients, to really ask them, hey, how did you think about the call this week? So you want to be on that call. Then also, you guys, corporate offers gives us free training following the client call. And so be on those coaching calls. It's going to help you, again, move your business forward. We have our weekly team calls. Now, everyone's a part of a different team within our organization, so you have a different team call. So connect with your support team and your mentor team to know when that is. And then boot camps. Now, boot camps are not an everyday thing, and they're not an every week thing, but they're going to be a season thing. So we do offer boot camps, and we have those. Again, they're there to help you build your business, whether they're going to be weekly. Sometimes we'll do, we're right now in a March Madness, which is happening weekdays every day, and it's at a great time, right, cracked on, so that you don't have to, doesn't interrupt with your day, but it's really great to help you move again, everything's to help you move you and your business forward. And most importantly, okay, this is a do not miss, rocking your calendar, bolded in red, is family time. Okay, we are doing this for our family. The most important thing that you can do is still structure out time for them. Okay, and so I actually gave you guys some tips here as far as color coordinating our time blocks. Now, this is something that it may not happen right away in the beginning, but in time it will. You'll start to have a schedule like this. The best thing that you can use is really use a Google Calendar. Google Calendar, sync it with your spouse or your family. That way you can all be on the same calendar. But this is just an example of what I have my color coordinating, right? Is I have my green call, or my blue are calls with coaches or clients. My reds are a do not miss. Those are my rocks in my calendar that I know are do not miss. We call them those, we have floating rocks, and then we've got rocks that just do not move, right? They're bolted in. But I'll tell you, some of those as pickup, right? School pickup. I can't forget my kid at school. And so that is in my calendar, to not put anything in my calendar during that time, because that time that I do have, with him, picking him up. I've got my Monday night calls there. I also have my green, which is my floating rock, meaning there's going to be times where I can't do my intentional messaging at 9:30 in the morning. A doctor appointment comes up. I have a kid that's home sick and I have to be there for him, but those are my floating rocks. It's not optional, but it is flexible, and so I can move those around. So I hope that's kind of helpful for you guys as far as knowing where to structure your day, what is needed at the beginning, for this. So, all right. So now moving on, I'm actually going to move it on to Rachel to go over some incredible things with us as well. So Rachel.
Yeah, awesome. So good. Okay, so one of the things is, as you know, we're inviting you into a space to live a very conscious life. So Optavians live a conscious life. We kind of come out of that unconscious life where we're just existing and surviving, and we start stepping into something much higher. And part of that is going to be what we do with our business, which is really just the extension of your personal development. The more clients you help, the more you're going to learn about yourself. The more people that have breakthrough, your sense of fulfillment is going to go through the roof. So this is unlike anything else that you've ever done, because this work somehow comes back and boomerangs your growth more than any work you may have ever done in your life. And so with that, we have to start with the list. We do everything on list, and in structure it up to be we try not to wing anything or just shoot from the hip, because when we do, we end up out of structure and we get frustrated, and it can also hurt our client, right? Who very much deserves that continuous client experience that we got. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is your hundreds list. That is if you think of like the nuts and bolts of your business, that's the very first thing you want to put together with your coach, second to your business hours, of course. So what that looks like is I want to just show you how fast a hundreds list can be put together. That sounds intimidating, at least to me it did, okay? But then when I said, wait a minute, I need to get 10 people from my phone. I need to get 10 people from my kid friend groups, sleepovers, things like that. Who are those people? 10 people from my kids' sports, 10 people from my gym or where I move my body, 10 people, hairdressers, people that I get my nails done with, right? 10 people from my church, 10 people from my reunion page, 10 people from my husband's work, wife's work, partner's work, 10 people in my hobby group. Who do I play pickleball with? Who do I do this, right? And next thing you know, you have a hundreds list and it's done in like 10 minutes. And you're like, why did I overthink that? That was so quick. Now that hundreds list is going to give you intentionality. Remember at Optavia, we don't sell anything. We don't have to, because there's someone waiting in line as we're doing this training. Someone is at the front of the line hoping that we will connect authentically and cultivate trust. There's someone in your friend group right now that is at the front of the line hoping that they will get health. So we don't have to sell health. We just have to be intentional about connecting authentically and cultivating trust. That hundreds list is going to help you to do that. You're going to start conversations. Even right now, if you guys at the end of this training, if you went and looked at who's watching my post, who likes my stuff, who's always down for the heart or the like or the hug, and you just wrote those people down and went back a month, you would have 100 names in which people are saying, I see you and I support you. Now it's our turn to see them and support them. So that hundreds list, that's the first thing you're going to want to operate off of. It'll keep you organized and it will keep you very intentional about the heart work of our business. Okay. So I just wanted to share with you how quickly you can get that done. What we want to avoid is busy as a badge in our business, because it's not our value system. We are not busy. We don't want to be busy. We want to be productive. Okay. So we want to move you from busy. Maybe corporate America taught you how to be real busy, look busy, or else you'll lose your job. We don't do that here. We want to have you look like you're enjoying life and spending time with your kids, and also work in high impact ways. Okay. So it's a bit of a paradigm shift. The second thing is the importance of integration. Remember that the best coaches are the best clients, and that you're just a guide to connect people to the spaces and places in which you're finding healing and you're finding hope. If that's the Monday night call, we connect them there. If that's the life book and a certain element that's really resonating with you, we connect them there. So if we are not integrated clients, we are going to run the risk of talking at people, and or worse, not talking about something because we don't know about it. I believe Michelle just said that. You're not going to talk about things that you don't know about. So it's very important to do a little self-audit and say, you know what part of this program am I omitting? Now I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, I was omitting reading the life book. I love the Habits of Health book. I love the community calls, but I was not in that life book, and it was costing me something in my client support. I kept putting it off and putting it off. So just look at yourself without criticism and say, what part of this program am I leaving out? And I challenge you to integrate it back in and watch what happens with your client support. Because remember, our client support, guys, it doesn't look like this. I'm the expert. I'm telling you what to do. You need to do this. You need to read. You need to get on calls, or else you're going to gain all your weight back. And if you don't, right? That's one way to go. But integrated client support looks like this. Wow, what did you love about Monday Night Call? Can I tell you what I learned? When I was in my life book in Element 4, this is what stood out to me. When I have a really rough day, I take a bubble bath and I drink chamomile tea and I put myself to bed early rather than eating. How are you learning in service to your why? What would you like my help with this week? Where can I partner with you in our systems? What part of our systems are missing from chasing your why? That looks a lot different than this, right? And so we can't do this beautiful reciprocal coaching model if we're not experiencing that. We tend to talk at people and they don't find value in that. Okay, so I really wanted to share that with you, guiding them experientially and in service to their why. If you're an Optavia coach, whether you're day 1 or day 1000, you're producing people in service to their why, not yours, right? As far as the trainings, I think Michelle did a beautiful job of talking about how important those are. This is where I found the time. Windshield time in my car was when I would listen to playbacks on trainings. I was very busy at the time that I started my business, guys. I didn't have the time. I made the time. And it was sacrificial. Dinner time, trainings were in the middle of dinner time. When I caught the vision, I said, Rachel, can you move your dinner time on Mondays and enjoy this training and tell your family that this is very important work, that it's providing a ton of fulfillment and purpose in your life, and that we need to move dinner to either 4:30 or 6:30. And everybody was agreeable to that. I just had to ask, okay? So many times in your business, whether it's little, medium, or big, you're going to need to communicate with your family why these trainings are important and what they're doing to your heart work and your sense of fulfillment. And most of the times they will understand having a couple of pivots, right? When our families don't understand is when we're out of structure. And so that's why we're teaching it to you from the very beginning so that you can honor your family and that quality time. Okay, most of your growth is gonna come from the coach calls. So maybe just drop a 2 in the chat if you can agree with me that you're growing more as a coach than you did as a client. Where is that interpersonal shifting happening? Is it coming as a coach or a client? So these calls that we set up are for your personal development. We work really hard as a mentor team to not have any events or trainings or calls that feel like busy work, because we don't want you to be busy. We want you to feel equipped, empowered, educated, and we want it to show up in your health journey first and then for your client. We want your children to get a higher version of you and then your clients. So these trainings are not busy work. They truly are to drive you forward, and they're worth blocking out. I promise you guys, give it 30 days of attending all of the trainings that you qualify for or your mentor suggests, and watch and see how your confidence goes up and your competence goes up as a result. Also, little plug, brand new, it's okay, register for convention. Don't even think about it, just register for convention. I was a couple months into coaching. I don't even think I was a couple months, maybe. And I went, and you guys, Dr. A just stole my heart. And you got to hear it from the horse's mouth. You got to make sure that you want to be aligned with this team, that you catch the vision, and that the culture is right for you. And there's not a better place to do that than convention. When you get in that room, there's going to be goosebumps and chills and tears. We can't do that here. We can bring a little bit, but we can't duplicate that. That is going to be like, whoa. Okay. So if you have been on the fence about it, or you haven't spoke to your new coach about it, let's all find a way to get there, because it's going to be magical. And we've always said as mentors, if it's not magical, we'll reimburse you. So there's a little bit of a money back guarantee as well. All right. So let's talk about there's 2 sides of our business that I want to talk to you about: transactional and transformational. I want you to think about your clients, okay? Before the transaction, before they buy the kit, There always has to be a transaction before transformation can occur. None of us would be in this Zoom room right now if we hadn't had a transaction that led us here. So don't be shy or apologetic about the noble and incredible value that you bring to society. And yes, there is a cost for that. There is an investment that the client has to make into themselves, okay? Our program is cost neutral. Cost neutral means that the program, we just allocate anti-health dollars and all the things that they're spending, whether that be alcohol or fast food or packaged processed food that's not healing, or anti-health foods or medications on occasion. We take all of that and we reallocate it to things that serve them. So the program is cost neutral. There is a transaction and there's a transformation. Over time, you are going to be a balanced, harmonious coach. You're going to come in with one stronger than the other. Okay. So you might be more transactional, like, hey, I come from business. I'm used to doing these things. I was in a sales job, right? You might feel that you need to sell here. You don't, but that might be your propensity. There's no shame in that. That's what you're bringing to the table. Or you might be very transformational. I'm a heartfelt servant. I love people. I don't care about money, right? These might be some of the things that you find yourself resonating with. I would do anything for a client. Well, we're going to try to balance you out, because what we can't have is a hero coach, okay? Because hero coaches don't help a lot of people. They only help a handful of people because they're too busy doing the client's work for them. And then we could have this transactional side that becomes cold and not as connected and not as relatable to the client. So here's the deal. Over time, we're going to balance you out. We're going to give you a very well-balanced body where you are transactional. You understand that this is a business, and without the income or transaction, no one's going to get transformed. And we're also going to teach you how to really connect at a heart level. We want your clients to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel a part of a community that is for them. And we will teach you the hard work of getting out of your own way and the hard work of connecting with clients. All of that will benefit your family first. Okay. So it's not just for the business, it is for your personal development. Please know that there are both sides. If you see people around here and you're brand new and they're talking about money and you're not used to talking about money, just understand that that in no way negates the good that we do in society, right? It only allows it to continue. Optavia was just named a $1 billion company. You know what that means? They're helping a lot of people, and that they will be sustainable. If they weren't healthy financially, this service will not be here tomorrow. So I want to give you that embracing both, okay? In terms of, and remember this, write this down, the fuelings are the economic driver to our services. The fuelings are the economic driver to our services. Clients would not want to have to pay a health coach by the hour, so Optavia took care of it. The fuelings are the economic driver in our business, okay? So always protect that order, not because of the order, but because it protects the client. So now in terms of practice calls, so we're gonna learn how to do health assessments. What is a health assessment? It's a guided conversation in which the client gets to hear themselves talk out loud and realize, maybe for the first time in a long time, that they have some serious gaps. And if there is to be a sale, right, which means they're moving forward, do you guys know at the heart what a sale is? A sale is when a sale is made, it's because a need has been fulfilled and exposed. People only move forward with something when they feel like a problem is being solved. Therefore, a transaction is happening. So a sale reveals a need. When we do this health assessment, we are not after the sale. We are after their healing. They have to talk out loud and make themselves sick to make themselves well. They are many times overkill, overconfident, unconscious. You are bringing a smelling salt to them. How are you sleeping? How are you eating? Do you drink any water? When was the last time you had white space in your day? Do you take any time to do self-care? This is the kindest first conversation that you get to have to serve mankind. It is incredible what comes through on that health assessment. It is a gift and it is not charged for. It is complimentary, and we are here to serve mankind. Now, after that, if they want to move forward, we get to help them, right? So when we do practice calls, for all you brand new coaches, these are not sales calls. These are calls so you get to practice the guided conversation and learn what you need to help people. We do like to get them done within 48 to 72 hours. We usually suggest 3 to 5 of them be done in this way: a see it, do it, teach it model. Everything we do as your mentors, we're going to do it for you the first time or the second time, and then we're going to watch you do it, and then we're going to watch you teach it. Adults learn through repetition. We are embracing that model in your practice calls so that you can learn how to serve those people correctly in their health journey. Okay, so you're revealing a need. So why do we do it 48 to 72 hours? Well, you could imagine a health assessment, and then 6 days later, a health assessment, and then 2 weeks later, a health assessment. That retention is going to suffer. So we do them really tight together. So there's a, did you see that? What questions do you have? And we debrief after each one. The architecture of the health assessment, there's a few very important things. The client needs to know their role. They need to know your role. They need to know that this is not a 30-day program, but they buy it 30 days at a time. They need to know that this is not a quick fix, and this is going to be a process of them learning about themselves and rewriting their story over a period of about a year. Does that mean they're on the 5 and 1 for a year? No. But that means that this is not a quick fix. We are going to give you the skills to awaken someone who probably came to you for a diet and take them past that point into our truest program, which is really showing them food is really not your issue, right? So this is exciting. And this is where your mentor gets to come in and really help you. Now, we also need to have next steps for that client. So what happens if we're talking to that client and they go, oh my gosh, this is amazing, but I can't do it today. Like, I love it, but I can't pull the trigger today. We need to have somewhere to send them. So we have what's called an ATM group. Ours is called Total Health. You guys might have different ones, but what this is an incubator for not yet. Okay, we want them to incubate. We want relationship. That's not a, for those of you, put a 1 in the chat if you watch Yellowstone. Okay, throw some 1s in the chat if you watch Yellowstone. I am a Yellowstone fanatic. Everybody knows it. I talk about it on training. Guess what Total Health is not? It's not the train station where you drop off your client and forget about them. Okay, it's where your work really starts. We still connect them with relationship. We don't drop them off in there and go, hey, the ball's in your court. You let me know when you want to get healthy. It's where we let them see recipes, transformations, and inspiration. We build, cultivate trust through relationships. We kick it in the friend zone and we learn about them with every interaction. Okay, so that's important. Make sure that you ask your mentor what is the best way to use Total Health so that you don't use it as a drop off, but really a place to start connection. Okay, if you think about it, only a salesperson would talk to someone when they're ordering and then not talk to them if they weren't ordering. So follow-up is very professional, and only professionals follow up, right? If I only talk to you when you said yes and I never talked to you again, what would that make you think about me? You'd be like, well, I guess she only wanted to talk to me if I was giving her a yes, right? We don't do that. That's not an Optivian culture. We connect authentically and we cultivate trust. Team coaching. This was weird for me, you guys, to have Mentors on my call with my client, I didn't understand it, so I bucked the system. Okay, don't do that. I did it and I broke a lot of things. So I'm going to spare you that. Team coaching is a gift. The coaches around you have seen and heard just about everything. And we have responses and we have pivots and we have ways to correct that with the client. We have ways to awaken them past their diet mentality. We have ways to get them out of their all or nothing thinking. So embrace it. Let your coaches be a part of your client support from the beginning. I'm telling you, I have been on these tip calls, integration calls, and you may hear them called different things, and they may be done at different times. 1 week, 2 week, work with your mentor that's guiding you and ask them how they want you to do that team coaching integration. This is something I set up on my health assessment. I let them know I am going to one-on-one coach you, but I'm also bringing in a whole team. You are going to be so invested in, Ronnie, you are going to be blown away at how many people are going to show up for your success. You're going to talk to my mentor. You're going to talk to my mentor's mentor. You're going to hear people on the client support page. Like, yes, I'm your coach, your concierge, but I'm not your only coach. You got a whole team of coaches behind you. Now that sounds great and they want it, right? So don't make it weird for them. Make it really positive for them. Okay. Now, when that team coaching happens, how many of you have experienced this? You think you hit a roadblock and you bring your mentor on, and all of a sudden the road's wide open again. And you're like, what? Just embrace it. Sometimes we're Catholic priests and they tell us all their confessions on the 2-week call that they didn't tell you about what they've been eating. We don't know why they do that, but we're grateful that they're telling someone that the bites, licks, and taste are coming in and that they haven't plateaued, right? So let your mentor be a part of that because it's magical and it just creates more value for them, okay, at the end of the day. Make sure that your client support is bold and that you are learning something about them in every interaction. This is what I tell my clients in terms of client support. And then I'm going to turn it back to Michelle. I know we're getting near the end of my section. Bold client support. Be cheesy with me for a minute, you guys, and put your hands up here. Okay. Have you ever guys watched a boxing match where someone just gets like, and you're just like, and the slobber and their cheeks are going like this and they're just getting knocked out? That's what it looks like when you give weak client support. Bold client support is helping the client to contend for their why. Contend for their why. Contend is a fancy word for fight. They're not going to know how to fight for themselves. Every time you talk to them on the client check-in, if you help them with 5 minutes a day of reading, talking to your coach, getting on the Monday night call, getting on the various calls that happen in your client support or on your team, you're helping your client put their dukes up and fight for their why. They're going to want to diet and put their hands down like that. We're going to teach you how to support clients in a way that feels unnatural for them and for you. This is why you need your mentors. Okay, we want to give you that. So I hope some of that was helpful. Also, last thing I'll say is track your ratios. Track your ratios. If you've done health assessments without your mentor, let them know I've done 4 and I've gotten no yeses, or I've done 4 and I've gotten 2 yeses. We need to know when to insert ourselves back into your business and show you some soft skills. So don't think anyone's micromanaging you. We just want to love you all the way to success and really help you feel supported. It's not managing, it's serving. It's a serving mentality that we have as mentors. That's all I got, Michelle. I'm going to turn it back to you.
Thank you, Rachel. That was so good. You guys get some good wisdom from Rachel. She always has just incredible things to say, and that's why she's successful in this business. So thank you, Rachel, for sharing that. Okay, guys, one last thing we will let you go on this beautiful Sunday is, one thing that we've decided or we've thought of is to give you obviously all the tools that you need, right? And so when we talk about living your journey out loud and really building that influence, some of you maybe have come in here and you started coaching and you're not really on social media, or Maybe you are and you love it and you're all about it. Wherever you're at, we really built a tool for you, an extra resource to help you just build your influence on social media while you're living your life out loud. Because that is what we do, right? We live our journey out loud, we live our life out loud. And so we've created such an incredible tool for you to be successful. So whether you're already a part of this or maybe you're not yet, you've never seen it, I wanted to run through this incredible tool called Elevate with you all. Okay, Elevate was created not as a substitution to just be thrown in there and not, connect with your support team. Absolutely not. It's there as an additional piece for your success that you and your support team are going to walk through together, because it's really just going to go through a little bit of the skill sets that we use in coaching, but it's just really there to help you build your influence on social media, to take the guesswork out of it, to where you really don't have to think about what we're posting. We don't have to think about how to connect with people. It's really there for you to help. But again, it's not going to just be a substitute for everything. It's just going to be an additional tool and resource to help you on the side of social media. And so I wanted to share my screen with you again, and we're going to go ahead and kind of run through this with you guys. And again, really connect with your support team. They're going to help you. But, if you have not been added to this group, maybe you have, connect with your support team to have you add into this group. But as soon as you enter into this group, there's going to be a few videos for you to check out. Now, all of these videos in this entire group are no more than about 7 minutes. Some range from 3 minutes, some are about 5 minutes. Maybe a couple are about 7 minutes, but for the most part, on average, they're about 4 to 5 minutes. And so we wanted to start off with a few videos to really help you understand more about why this group was created, but to also share with you what is possible, through coaching and just through living your life out loud and through the consistency of this. And so as you come into this group, there's a welcome video to kind of share with you a little bit about what the group is about, how it's going to help you elevate your business, how it's just going to elevate personal growth, how it's just going to elevate you. And so, starting off with a welcome video, follow that is testimonials. This is really just going to share with you what's possible through coaching, through our story. We share a little bit more about our story in here. You also see in the comments, you'll see a few other coaches and their stories of what they've been able to create with Optavia. From there, we're going to go through a few things that we're going to do daily in our action steps. Okay, you're going to see that, really our life on social media and our action on social media is going to be pretty repetitive when it comes to how we grow our network. That's through adding friends, that's through starting conversations, because again, this business is built on building relationships, okay? Because we want to do three things, right? We want people to know us, love us, trust us, because when they have all three, they're going to feel more comfortable to come to you and ask what it is that you're doing in your life. And the way that we do that, it really is about building relationships. I'm going to tell you guys this, and I encourage you. Maybe we think that, man, I don't have a lot of friends or family that want to do this, or I don't know a lot of people. I was there, and I'll tell you, the majority of my closest friends now are now clients and are now coaches that I never knew prior to Optavia. So don't feel like you need to know a lot of people right now in order to grow your business, okay? And that's where the power of building relationships really comes from, because you're gonna build a lot of incredible friendships through this. And so adding friends, you're just gonna hear about the importance of that, starting conversations, and just living your life out loud. So those are a few of just the videos that we're gonna start off with. And then what you're gonna see is day to day, we're gonna give you the daily action steps of what to do. I'm gonna share with you, this is honestly only takes about 10 to 15 minutes of your day. Okay, so again, structure that in your calendar into your structure of your day events. It should be a rock in your calendar, and be consistent. Now, this group isn't created to just do one or the other, or just kind of pick and choose what you want to do. If you actually utilize this group the way that it was created, and you're consistent for your first 30 days of utilizing this group, you're going to see success. You're going to see growth. And so allow that to encourage you just to be consistent in that, because I will tell you, it was created for that, and we have seen incredible numbers. We've seen those ratios, right? Those ratios that Rachel talks about, just differently. We've seen that those that are actually consistent and they actually utilize all of it in the way that it was designed do find success at the end of the 30 days. And so what you're going to see is every day there is a daily action video. There's a daily action step video. Okay, again, just a few minutes, but it's going to go through exactly what to post. Now, this is the beautiful thing about this. In the comments, you're going to see exactly what to do. So day one, it's an engagement post, okay? And now when you go to the comments, you're going to find different things or different posts to actually do. Guys, we don't have to think about it. This is where the guesswork takes out of it, okay? Now look at the comments on these videos daily, because it's gonna actually feed you exactly what to do, exactly what to post. But on top of that, you may find a few videos out with every day to teach you the skill set according to the action of the video. Now for this, for example, day one, it goes over the engagement post. Well, now attached to that is actually how to work an engagement post, why engagement posts are important, and how you're going to work alongside that. And that's just a skill set that you're going to learn. Okay. And so every day is going to be something different, but what you're going to see is day to day is going to teach you all of the skill sets that you need to learn within your first 30 days of coaching. It's going to teach you how to utilize social media. It's going to give you, it's going to teach you maybe some tips for health assessment. It's going to teach you tips for follow-up. It's going to teach you, even celebration, integration, tip call tips. It's going to teach you step by step all of the skill sets and the basic skill sets that you need to learn, through your first 30 days of coaching. Again, this is not to take away from any support coaching or team coaching. This is going to go into addition with team coaching. And so again, daily actions. Here's day 2, day 3, day 4. Every day is going to be a different day, and it's going to feed you. Now, alongside with exactly what to post, it tells you we're going to add 5 friends and we're going to start 5 conversations. You guys, the beautiful thing about adding new friends, maybe we're like, man, on social media, I only have like 200 friends. That's okay. I started off with 400 friends when I first started coaching. Okay. And now I'm in the thousands. Okay. And this goes with just building our audience, right? We have Facebook, just to give you an example on Facebook, gives us an auditorium of 5,000 seats for people to see us, right? To view our life, to see what we're doing. Why are we going to limit ourselves? We don't need to limit ourselves on on how the possibilities of how many people can see what it is that we're doing. And so again, it's going to go through, conversations. Doesn't have, and your support team is going to work alongside with you. It's going to give you different tips in here. So I'm going to encourage you guys, is if you have not used this tool yet, or maybe you've used it, but you haven't used it 100%, maybe you've done certain days, maybe you stopped using it after a week, maybe you stopped using it after a couple of days, maybe you haven't used it at all, I want to encourage you to utilize this. This is why it was created. It was to help you be successful. It was to help you, teach you all of the skill sets, to give you tips on moving your business forward. Okay, so again, work alongside this. Now I'm gonna give you guys a tip too, because I know it's like, man, I'm on day 4, I'm on day 23. I gotta scroll through a lot. Well, what's cool is we thought of it all. So if you actually go to the search tab, okay, right there, you can actually search the group. So everything is done by hashtag. So say you're on day 23, all you have to do is do hashtag day 23, and then you're going to find the video that you need for day 23. Now, some days only have 1 video, some days have 2, some days have as much as 4, right? And it's going to go all alongside with the daily action step. It's all going to be really connected. And so this is a way to help you, again, say if you need to look for day 7, you just use that path or use a search, and then it's going to give you everything that you need for that day. So allow that to encourage you guys that you have an additional tool support to help you work alongside with your coach. Okay, again, does not take away from team coaching. You're doing alongside them every step of the way, but it's all about being consistent. It's about being consistent in all that we do with coaching. If you are consistent, give yourself 30 days, 60 days of consistency, you're going to see your business grow. The only coaches that I've never seen not be successful in this business are the coaches that give up. I've been doing this for 5.5 years. I have worked with hundreds of coaches, and I have seen a lot of coaches quit too early, and I've seen a lot of coaches be so successful that they're doing this full time. They've been able to build an incredible life through this. So wherever you are in your journey, wherever you are with your goals, with your dreams, with your desires, know that you can have it. You can have it all if that's your choice, if that's your desire, but it's going to come with consistency. It's going to come with hard work, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And so come with that mentality. If I want it, I want to, just go for it. Because you're going to see that you guys can truly have whatever it takes. So the power of consistency is everything. But you guys just live your journey out loud. It's all about just sharing your story. That is what this business is about, is just how many more people you're going to share your story to. Again, I may be only more successful because I've heard a lot more yeses, I've heard a lot more no's, but I've also talked to a lot more people, right? And I've shared my story with a lot of people. My story has evolved so many times. People have probably heard different versions of my story from the beginning until where I am today, but know that your story is going to be powerful. So I thank you all for being. I hope this was helpful. Again, we're so happy to have you in our family. We are so excited, for you. And I will share this, like Rachel shared, when it comes to convention. Convention is coming up. Okay, it's coming up in July 21st, I want to say, to the 23rd. I'm telling you, I went to convention. No matter how new you may say, like, man, I'm a little too new for that. I went to convention. I was 7 days into being a coach. I did not know anybody. I did not know anything. I had 2 clients, and I thought, well, you know what? What if? And I'll tell you, I had a lot of excuses not to go. I had a small child. I was working full time. We honestly did not have the money. We really did not have the money to go. And I thought, well, you know what? What if? Okay, so think about it. Those 2 simple words. What if? What if this could be something? What if this could lead me to a path of more? What if this could lead me to the desires of my heart, or the desires of what I know that life can be? What if? Because I'll tell you that event changed everything for us. I was able to see the vision of the mission. I was able to hear Dr. A's heart and like just have goosebumps the entire time. I thought I was going into a convention where people were going to share just their money and their checks and their cars and their mansions. And you know what? No, I didn't hear any of that. I just heard, people's hearts. I heard how genuine they were about helping others, and in return, it helped them. Right? So it's all about the service of others. That's why we're in the people industry, right? It's all about the service of helping others, because if you can help others achieve what they want, you will have everything that you want in your life. So thank you all for being on. We are so excited for you and what's to come. Connect with your support team if you haven't already, and just let them know what you want and have them guide you to everything. So Rachel, any last words before we get off?
Oh my goodness. No, get to convention so we can hug your neck. That's it. I mean, in person is best, and it's a beautiful time. So make that a priority. I would just say lastly, with events, as you earn this money with Optavia, set some aside for those events that come up. Every event you qualify for, go. It's magical. And that is something as a new coach that I was told by my mentors is take small amounts of that Optavia income and put it aside for those times so that you can jump on a plane and get there with like-minded people. It truly is an investment right back to you and your family.
Yes, absolutely. All right, you guys. Well, thank you again for being on. Thank you, Rachel, for co-hosting with me. We wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll see y'all soon.